How much will it cost your business to do a live scan transaction? You get these calls a lot to your office right off the back asking how much does a live scan cost? How much you're going to charge them? Like it's all your fault they got to pay for the service there. And that's the position they're going to take. And before you start spurting up prices on a regular basis because somebody down the street might charge a customer a certain fee, that fee is probably based off their business model, if they do have one. That price, the customer might take, well, I saw a price on the internet where a licensing cost me only $25. They may be misinformed, or they might try to get you to devalue your business and go ahead and say some type of price out there just to come in there and make you stick to that price. Don't fall for that. When you do your pricing, it's a lot of things you should take in consideration. So I'm going to ask you right now, for those who are watching the session right this second, or even later on, because this is a live stream right now, what things do you think you should take in consideration, or what things do you know you should take in consideration when you do your pricing for a live scan transmission? In other words, what's going to be your rolling fee? There's two fees involved in most cases for a live scan that's required by a state. There's going to be the government fee, and there's going to be your rolling fee, your service fee, your profit. So typically there's two fees involved. The fee that the government may require you to pay, or the agency you're working with to pay that government fee, and also your fee, your profit, you should take in consideration when you do your pricing. So what things should you take in consideration? I just told you one right there. If there's associated government fee, make sure you include that in your pricing. So make ask you how much it costs for a live scan. But that's just a small piece of the pie. That's just the etching. That's just the scratching on the surface. So before you even get that far, I'm going to ask you right now, do you have a business model? Do you know how you're going to grow or scale your business to the second, third, fourth level, or the next level up, or are you going to 10x your business? But do you have a business model? And if you're starting off doing fingerprinting right now, for example, doing live scan fingerprinting, you should have a business model in place or working on one starting yesterday. Now, what is the business model? That's a program into itself. That's a whole different course program that we have in entirely by itself. But you should have a business model to begin with before you even consider your pricing, or make sure you include your pricing strategies and concepts within your business model. Okay? Well, I'm going to give another nugget right here, probably business model and things you should take in consideration. Do you have a marketing plan? Because within that business model, there should be some type of marketing plan. And within the marketing plan, there's budget, there's expenses you should have. All this stuff here, I'm just sharing with you just this instant, just throwing on you right now, should come in consideration regarding how much will it cost for you to do a live scan. When you hit that submit button, that transmission button, how much is it going to cost your business just to hit that transmit button out there? What's going to be the cost? What's going to be expensive? Don't just assume because somebody down the street might charge a profit of $30, $40, whatever the case may be, that's their rolling fee. Who knows what the case may be? But you don't know if they have a business model. You don't know what they take in consideration for their pricing. You're too busy trying to compete with somebody else versus trying to focus on how to dominate your business. Let's back that up again. You don't waste time trying to compete. Focus on domination. That should be part of your business model. So when you have your pricing for a live scan transmission, you should take a lot of things in consideration. I just showed you right now your marketing expenses, if you have one. If you don't have one, you should start working on one as of yesterday. If you need to promote your business, then get people to come to your door. There's a fee behind that. There's an expense behind that. It could be you paying somebody to do it for you. It could be sweat equity, trying to do everything yourself, especially if you're starting off, which I understand why people do that there. But it's still a cost. Even though you're trying to do everything yourself initially, your branding, your marketing, everything else, that still costs sweat equity. And that's still costing your time. And time equals money or lost revenue. All right? Just getting started here, folks. I'm not going to go through the whole series, a whole program at this one here, but just these core points. See, I get kind of mouth dry because I'm now have no coffee, and it's kind of frustrating right now, but it's all good. I'll make it work. So, marketing expenses should take into consideration. Another important thing to take in consideration is going to be the cost of your LiveScan equipment. Just because you purchase your equipment doesn't mean you should not take in consideration as part of your LiveScan pricing to get the money back. You should. That fee, that cost, that expense should be embedded in your pricing. Are you going to build that cost of the equipment where you have a certain rate to get your payment back from that machine? You invest in that machine within 6 months, within a year, within 3 years. Take that consideration. Your marketing, your LiveScan equipment, all that stuff there, which is very important, should be part of your consideration in pricing the cost for a LiveScan transmission. Quit focusing on everybody else's issues. Focus on your business. Work out the business model and take those things in consideration. Work with an organization who specializes in that there, like the National LiveScan Association, and see how we can help you, or other organizations out there to help you get your pricing that makes sense for your business model. Overhead expenses, operating expenses, make sure I spelled that right, which is correctly spelled right, could take in consideration. Your marketing, your equipment investment, the operating expenses, the overhead, all that there are called bills that have to be paid. And those fees, those investments, that sweat equity you put into business should be paid back towards your organization through your services provided to the community. It makes a big difference there. It really, really does. So you need to take that in consideration as part of your service fees when you offer fingerprinting to the public. Once again, don't just focus on, wait, I smell some coffee coming here. Oh, perfect timing. All right. Now I'm feeling better here, folks. I got my voice in now. I got my Big J cup. Let me make sure it's not too hot. It's hot. But it's worth it. Little boost of jolt right there. Got that going there. So recap again. Marketing expenses, your overhead expenses, your investment into your equipment. How about training people? How about the stuff you take in consideration before you even get started with operating expenses? How about your business that you take ahead of time? How about the training you need to take ahead of time to start your business? How about your knowledge you put into the organization to bring to the table to start doing fingerprinting services? Take those things in consideration. And right now, during the recording of this session right here, COVID-19 isn't impacting your business. It's a sad thing what's going on right now. It's a terrible thing going on right now. But you should also take in consideration how that's affecting your business. For example, supplies. Very important, supplies. You're going to have your face mask. You're going to have your disinfectant wipes. You're going to have your aerosol spray, the Lysol spray. You're going to have your gloves. That's just a few things that's part of your daily operational expenses. Now, for us, for National LiveScan Association, we do recommend you wear gloves when you fingerprint. Even once this pandemic comes to an end, hopefully it comes to an end like yesterday, we still recommend wearing gloves. A lot of our technicians have been wearing gloves since day one when they're fingerprinting. In the past, we didn't recommend wearing masks on a regular basis, but moving forward, we put in part of our recommendation to our members to wear masks and gloves all the time when you fingerprint. And even once this pandemic comes to an end, we'll still wear them. Dentists, we go to the dentist's office, they're always wearing gloves and masks anyway. Best practices. We do encourage that and recommend that moving forward for all of our members, of those of you in the session right now. Implement that also into your services. But like I said, the COVID-19 is also affecting your business with the supplies. There might be a decrease in volume to your business because of COVID-19, or there might be an increase of volume to your business. Either way, it still affects your bottom line. If there's a decrease, less revenue, you still have overhead to pay. So don't try to base your pricing someone who offer a low rolling fee 20 years ago, the same fee. That doesn't make sense. Not to me, it doesn't. That's not part of our business model. It might be part of yours, but not part of ours. I'm going to try and keep this session here short as possible because I know it's a very timely session, but it's also a very important session. When you offer your services to the public, another thing to take in consideration, and I have to put this out there as a nugget, as a bonus, there are some agencies out there that's going to offer you a price for a LiveScan device, very, very low price. But in the backside of it, they say, we're going to send clients to you. We're going to charge you a service fee for each client that you transmit there. Be careful of that. How are you going to know if the client came from that particular agency who's going to promise you all these clients? Why are you going to pay them X amount of dollars for each client you're going to fingerprint if you did the work and they didn't do the work and they didn't cost them to go to your location to begin with? Maybe it came from your sweat equity. Okay, but if you have a plan like that, reevaluate that, work with them so you can make sense. You could track who comes over to you and go from there. It might be a good model for your particular business model, or it might not be for your particular business model. Just revisit your business plan, your business model, and focus on your goals for your business. Where you at with that? How much is going to cost you to fingerprint somebody for each transmission? And another thing is, I'm going to throw it out there. Let me go ahead and put this out here too, because this is something people don't take in consideration all the time. Or they do, but they really don't know how to capture that issue, that cost. All right. Merchant service fees. We recommend part of our training program is take that fees also in consideration when you do your pricing of how much it costs to do a LiveScan. So when you get the call down line, how much it costs me to do a fingerprint at your location, or how much it costs for a LiveScan, how much you're going to charge me for a LiveScan service there. You need to take all this stuff in consideration before you start spurting on prices based on someone else's thoughts from their particular business down the street. All right, just keep that in mind. I'm gonna go and do some other things here real fast here. Leave your comments in the section and let me know what things you take in consideration for doing LiveScan services. What fees do you take in consideration? What cost or expenses come to your mind when you offer that service there? Don't just ask everybody how much they charge you without you knowing how much it's going to cost you to do a LiveScan. You might have yourself like a set rule per person, how much it's going to cost you. You should have that broken down to the cent. If you took a training program, some of you guys already have that broken down to the cent by now. If you don't, and you took a training program, get your act together, step up your game again, and focus on how much it's going to cost you per person to fingerprint them. For a LiveScan, or how much it's going to cost you per person to do ink card fingerprinting per applicant or per card. You need to take all of that into consideration when you do your pricing for your stuff.